You're right in time for Hope TV Newswatch on this 7th day of November 2023. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. My name is Kimani and my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation tonight is Boniface Murithi. To our top story of the day, and Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza has pleaded not guilty to all the charges leveled against her by the members of County Assembly in her ongoing impeachment case at the Senate. The governor is facing 7 charges, including misappropriation of county funds, creating posts without the approval of the MCAs, illegally naming a road after her husband, and sending relatives to China to assess cancer treatment equipment without their approval. The hearing is happening through a Senate plenary, meaning that all the 47 senators will vote on each of the charges. In the case that the plenary will uphold the charges, then Governor Mwangaza will stand impeached. But if the charges will be dismissed, then she will have survived.
The Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, how do you plead to the 7 charges? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
The impeachment motion before you is the third one in barely a year presented before the Assembly against the Honorable Governor Kawira Mwangaza. The first impeachment motion was presented before the Assembly on 22nd of November 2022. It did not reach the Senate because the High Court issued an order preventing the MCAs from debating it. The second one was filed on the 5th of December, and it was brought before this Assembly. It contained, Mr. Speaker, 62 charges of nepotism, illegal appointments, usurpation of the constitutional and statutory functions of county organs. It contained allegations on incitement, bullying, and vilification of other leaders, a matter now still before you. It revolved around disrespect to the Assembly through forceful entry and mobilization of riots against the Assembly, a matter now before you in different particulars. It involved violation of public finance management laws, again a matter before you. Only the facts have changed, the fundamental problem remaining. And then, of course, that motion came here, and it did not succeed. Notably, Mr. Speaker, when we came, the governor took the posture of an innocent and vulnerable victim of toxic masculinity, harmful patriarchy, gender stereotyping, gender discrimination, and political machinations. And in short, the governor took the posture that if something went wrong in Meru, as we submit, something has been terribly wrong in Meru for a year now and counting, our defense was, it wasn't me.
Away from that, and Kenya and Czech Republic have pledged to enhance their bilateral relations and exploit existing investment opportunities in the two countries. Speaking today at State House, Nairobi, when he held bilateral talks with the Czech Republic Prime Minister Petr Fiala, President William Ruto said that an equal partnership is paramount for mutual benefits. On his part, Czech Premier Petr Fiala say that investors from his country will take advantage of the existing cordial relations to exploit opportunities in Kenya. Czech Republic Prime Minister Petr Fiala was in the country for a 3-day official visit, was today officially received at State House Nairobi by President William Ruto, where they both pledged to enhance their bilateral relations and exploit existing investment opportunities in the two countries. Speaking today at State House during the bilateral talks, President William Ruto said the two countries will soon sign a negotiated economic agreement that will see Kenya access duty-free and quota-free markets.
The economic partnership agreement that now has been concluded, and we will be signing it off on the 17th of December, that affords Kenya, being the first country in our region, to get quota-free, duty-free access to the European market, and that this will be a leverage that we can share with our Czech counterparts as they explore opportunities in the Kenyan space.
At the same time, the head of state observed that there are many potential opportunities for investment in the country, more so in the digital economy, adding that Kenya aspires to become a key player in the digitization space, as the country is a world leader in mobile money transfer and usage.
The Czech-Kenya Business Forum yesterday, attended by more than 120 companies from our two countries, and which Prime Minister Fiala graced with his presence, I am confident that Kenya and the Czech Republic will witness higher levels of commercial and trade activities that will spur increased investment from Czech companies into Kenya in diverse fields in our economy.
On matters health, President William Ruto appreciated Czech Republic's support through the Slovak-Czech-sponsored pediatric heart surgery mission at the Mater Hospital, which was launched in March 2019, saying that the sharing of knowledge, experiences and opportunities contribute greatly to the improvement of the quality of healthcare and medical services offered in the country.
And I have congratulated Prime Minister Fiala for Czech support in some of our hospitals, in Malindi, in Kilifi, in Mbagathi Hospital here in Nairobi, and Vihiga Hospital in Western Kenya.
On his part, Czech Premier Petr Fiala said that investors from his country will take advantage of the existing cordial relations to exploit opportunities in the country. At the same time, praising Kenya for successfully hosting the recent Africa Climate Summit held in Nairobi, noting that it will go a long way in exploring ways of combating climate change.
I also congratulated Mr. President for the success of the Africa Climate Summit. I look forward to its result at the COP28 in Dubai. We agreed that there are many green and innovative technologies which our companies can cooperate on. For example, they can support Kenya's ambition to use geothermal energy and the mission to stabilize Kenya's energy infrastructure. These things go hand in hand.
The government is targeting to grow 100 million seedlings on Monday next week during the National Tree Planting Day. Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki declared the day will be a public holiday for the public to take part in a national tree growing exercise. The move to declare the 13th of November a public holiday follows the decision of the cabinet sitting in Mombasa on Friday last week on the need to save the country from the devastating effects of climate change. And as Alice Diana now reports, Environment and Forestry Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya has appealed to Kenyans to come out in numbers on Monday and grow at least 2 seedlings.
Following the gazettement of Monday 13th November as a public holiday to mark this year's National Tree Growing Day, Kenyans have been urged to turn out in large numbers on that day and throughout the short rain season and participate in rejuvenating the country's wetlands, rivers, restoring the ecosystems, both for the ecosystem services that they provide, as well as using landscapes and ecosystems to spur Kenya's economy.
We are touted.
Addressing the press on Tuesday on preparations for the Tree Growing Day, Environment Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya noted that for us to meet the 15 billion target in 10 years, we need to grow at least 1.5 billion trees each year.
Growing the 15 billion seedlings, like I like to say, looks very huge on paper, but broken down, it simply means that each and every one of us, 50 million Kenyans, need to only grow 30 seedlings each year in 10 years. And we will comfortably meet our target. It is as straightforward as that. In this regard, we have set a target of growing 100 million seedlings on the 13th only, on the day of Monday, 13th.
To document each tree grown, CS Tuya says her ministry has developed the Jaza Miti application to monitor and track the tree growing exercise. The CS has encouraged all Kenyans to download the application on their phones and document each tree they grow.
If on the minimum, 50 million of us Kenyans grew at least 2 seedlings on Monday next week, as I have said, this application would then document an additional 100 million seedlings during only this day. So we have the app where we can actually take tab of how much we should be able to achieve in this day.
President William Ruto will lead the country in the tree growing exercise, with the venue for the national tree growing activity being Kew Wetland in Makueni County. The national tree growing exercise will be held concurrently with the county tree growing exercise across the 47 counties, presided over by cabinet secretaries.
So at the county level, we will have the leadership of CS, the governors, and the national government administration, where we will have a focal point for all the players, including the private sector and all government agencies that are within counties. The Kenya Forest Service, the NEMA, and KEFRI will also be very central at the county level to provide the technical support required for this county-level coordination.
CS Tuya has appealed to government partners and well-wishers, including private sector, to support the accelerated tree-growing activities on Monday and throughout the short rains season by, among other interventions, purchasing seedlings from private nurseries, community-based organizations CBO, and Community Forest Association CFA to ensure we have adequate seedlings from the short rain season and beyond. Alice Diana, Hope TV Newswatch.
Thank you so much, Alice, for that report. Looking forward to the holiday. We hope that Kenyans are actually going to plant the tree seedlings. And President William Ruto has faltered the composition of the pending bills verification committee that was unveiled today by the National Treasury Cabinet Secretary, Professor Njuguna Ndung'u. Speaking during the launch of the committee at State House, Nairobi, President William Ruto termed the committee as unconstitutional, noting that it does not meet the 2/3 gender threshold. Meanwhile, genuine public sector pending bills will be the first items to be charged in the government budget. President William Ruto has said it is time the government sorted out the sticky issue in a just and fair manner.
There is already a pending bill out there, owed by government, at both levels, at the national and county, with all parastatals and all the other auxiliary bodies, of close to 640 billion. That is a huge amount of money on either side, to suppliers and also on the government books. And therefore, it is important for us to resolve this matter, and we can then predict our future much more accurately. It is also the reason that we are having a supplementary budget in Parliament. We have made a commitment as an administration that we are going to start with this year. Even as we look on last year, the year before, all the way to 2005, we are going to start with this year. And we have sent to Parliament an adjustment to the budget so that the pending bills that would have coming to this year are sorted out, and 77 billion odd of pending bills, we have instructed that they be subsumed into this year's budget, and it becomes the first charge of every ministry, every department, and I want to say it should be the case for every county government, so that we can deal with pending bills as a matter of course.
President William Ruto has praised members of parliament for embracing teamwork and unity in supporting the government's agenda in the Senate and the National Assembly. President William Ruto singled out the passage of the finance and the universal healthcare bills as some of the critical legislations that will go a long way in addressing challenges facing Kenyans. Addressing a parliamentary group meeting of Senate and the National Assembly in State House, Nairobi today, President Ruto told the legislators to be ready to pass more bills, which will soon be tabled in both houses. And the Nairobi County government has upscaled its efforts in coming up with damage control measures to sustain the damages caused by the ongoing heavy downpour. According to Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja, the county government is undergoing public sensitization in sub-county levels to areas prone to flooding and offering humanitarian support to affected families. Speaking at the Nairobi City Hall during the flagging off of new medical equipment worth 58 million shillings to be delivered to levels 2, 3, and 4 hospitals across the county, the governor has urged residents to use a toll-free number to seek help. Our very own Gloria Musimbi with the details.
As the heavy downpour in the country continues, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has assured Nairobi residents that the county government is undergoing public sensitization in sub-county levels to areas prone to flooding and offering humanitarian support to affected families.
The rainfall, as it continues to increase, will have public sensitization. We have been doing it at the sub-counties, together with our sub-county admins and ward admins, but we shall also publish in the papers and on your news channels for people to know areas where we might need people to move. The emergency number, if you see any incident that you want to report, 1508 is a toll-free number that you have to call. 1508 to call us. Our disaster teams are on 24/7 response. If a tree falls, if there's any, anything that needs our response and attendance, we will attend to you.
While commending the efforts of the Green Army, sub-county administration and the disaster management teams that are actively engaged in various sub-counties to clear blocked drainage systems in flood-prone areas, Sakaja called on residents to refrain from illegal dumping.
Lakini nimefurahi sio maeneo mengi ambayo yamepata hayo madhara. Ingawaje kumenyesha sana, many places are flowing because of the work the Green Nairobi are doing. Mahali kumekuwa na shida, miti imeanguka kule Buruburu, tumetoa asubuhi, pale Karen kumekuwa na shida kidogo, and we're continuing to do it. But I will continue to appeal to the people of Nairobi. Let us stop illegal dumping. Let us stop illegal dumping on our drainages, because that is what is clogging the place up, and that is what is, giving us, undue tasks, that we should focus the energy of our young people in other activities.
Meanwhile, Nairobi residents are set to benefit from better healthcare services after Nairobi County government this morning distributed medical equipment to public hospitals. Nairobi governor has flagged off medical equipment worth 58 million shillings to level 2, level 3, and 4 hospitals. Speaking during the flag off, Sakaja has said that the distribution of the equipment demonstrated his administration's commitment to fulfilling his manifesto of top-notch and better healthcare services.
Being here today affirms our commitment to provide top-notch healthcare to the people of Nairobi. Our administration has continued to ensure that our hospitals have medicines and medical equipment.
On his part, Deputy Governor Njoroge Mushiri noted that the Governor Sakaja's-led administration will ensure proper equipment in health facilities, employment creation, as well as proper medication services.
It's very, very important for us that we continue on this journey, because it's a journey of ensuring that we keep our promises to the people of Nairobi, to the people of this country, that we say we will serve and we will create a city of order and dignity, hope and opportunities for all. When you have this kind of equipment, it creates employment, it creates opportunities for people to work, and most importantly, it is the health of people who are then able to go and do get involved in gainful employment.
Reporting for TV Newswatch, I'm Gloria Musimbi.
Thank you so much, Gloria, for that report. Interior CS Kithure Kindiki went back to Lamu County today to assess the security situation, a month after he unveiled the names of 35 most wanted terror suspects who are linked to several terror incidents in Lamu County and the Boni Enclave. CS Kindiki held an engagement and view-taking forum with elders and representatives of the various communities living in Mukunumbi in Lamu West constituency, where he stated that the government is investing in a program to foster trust and a harmonious coexistence across different communities resident within Lamu and the rest of the country.
Endesha kazi ya usalama hapa, wakiwamo maofisa wa utawala, makamanda wa vikosi vya polisi na jeshi letu la taifa KDF, na sisi, mimi kama waziri wa usalama na serikali nzima iko na imani na maofisa wetu na kazi ambao wanafanya hapa. Ya pili, tumeongea na wazee wetu hapa wa jamii mbalimbali ambazo ziko hapa Lamu West. Wametuahidi ya kwamba wataendelea kutuunga mkono, kutusaidia kuimarisha usalama na kusaidiana na vikosi vyetu vya usalama kuimarisha usalama wetu hapa. Vilevile tumekubaliana tutaongeza idadi za utawala hapa, zikiwemo kata ndogo, kata kamili na divisheni ambazo nitatangaza hivi karibuni, na vilevile tumekubaliana ya kwamba tutaweka mikakati ya kusawazisha jamii zote hapa ili watu wetu waishi kwa amani, na vilevile kuhakikisha ya kwamba mizozo midogo midogo ambayo ni ya kawaida inayotokea katika baina ya jamii mbalimbali kuwe na namna kupitia wazee wetu kusuluhisha. Mwisho kabisa, leo hii mimi nimesema ya kwamba vile tunaelekea katika msimu wa sherehe, ndipo vikosi vyetu vya usalama vimeimarisha kazi yao ya kuhakikisha kwamba nchi yetu iko salama. Na leo hii tumetoa ilani kwa mujibu wa sheria ya kupigana na magaidi ya watu 19 na makampuni ambao tunashuku yanahusika katika kuendeleza mambo ya ugaidi katika taifa letu la Kenya. Na kwa mujibu wa kipengele cha 3 cha sheria ya kupigana na magaidi, hao watu ambao wamepewa ilani na Inspector General wa polisi wako na siku 7 ya kujieleza.
Was ordered a freeze on recruitment of low cadre staff at universities across the country. Speaking at Kisii University during a visit, the CS has said that no further funds will be availed for the function, urging that consideration be made only for teaching staff.
Good governance, we should be able to make sure that we reduce that particular pending bill in the coming year to almost nil. The other challenge which has made His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya to send me here with my brother, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Housing, is because we know that you are staying in areas which are not very conducive for quality running. Because for you to come and run properly here, you must stay in areas which are good, areas which are decent, and that is why we're here, so that the Ruto administration can be able to start a project here of accommodating students, hostels, which will accommodate up to 10,000 students. The administration and ask them and all other universities that yes, we require right-sizing, we require downsizing. We have said that you have to focus on the core functions of the university, such that all universities, the only recruitment they will be able to do when it is necessary is for the teaching staff. The non-teaching staff, when natural attrition or anything happens, we have said no more recruitment until we sort out the financial challenges that we have in our public universities.
Away from that, and more than 20 local churches along the West Pokot and Turkana border point have embarked on special prayers for peace in the troubled Takwel region. After rampant killings were reported in the region, the clergy, leaders and hundreds of residents from different denominations convened at Takwel Gorge for the prayers that brought members from warring communities. Religious leaders who condemned the killings prayed for peace in the region, calling on pastoral communities to shun conflict and desist from discriminating against one another along tribal lines.
Bwana Profesa Lonyangapuo tarudishia shukrani kwa sababu yeye ndio ameleta hii nguvu yote, ndio maana watu wamekusanyika mahali hapa leo, sababu yeye anataka amani. So anarudishia Mungu shukrani kupitia yeye, sababu yeye ndio umeongea, ndio watu wamekubali. Asante sana.
Jina naitwa Regina Lokurunya, mkaaji ya Takwel. Siku ya leo tuko na shukrani kabisa kwa sababu makanisa yote wamesanyika kwa sababu ya amani. Tunaomba Mungu ya kwamba amani irudi kwa sababu tumesusana kwa muda mrefu sana na tumepoteza watoto wengi na ni kwa sababu ya kukosa amani. Siku ya leo makanisa zote wameunganika ili tuombe kwa sababu ya amani. Na pia tunashukuru kwa Profesa Lonyangapuo kwa sababu ako pamoja nasi kwa sababu ya amani.
Uko na wasiwasi, lakini tuko hapa. Serikali kama nyinyi mnajua, sisi wakaaji hapa mtusaidie sana. Tunaomba rais wetu William Ruto pamoja na Crop na Kintiki yeye mwenyewe anasimamia security. Tunaomba wewe utusaidie kama maji ya kukunya, mtuunganishe pamoja na Waturkana na majamii zetu, tuweke mambo ya kupikana chini na tuendelee kwa amani.
Na kama tunajua tu hiyo ndiye watu wanapigania, si mambo ya mifuko wala nini, lakini hao wanatoka huko na wakikuja wanasikia njaa kwa njia, ndio waingilia sasa mifuko ya watu.
Na sisi tuliamua liwe liwalo, watu wetu lazima wakutane. Tunaingia mahali tabu iko kwa uwezo yote, including hata kama tumekosana na fulani, tunashikana mkono hivi tuonekane kwa parade, kwa picha ya wanadamu. Ningeliomba president, the same way you did when you were deputy president, ulituita viongozi wa Pokot Turkana ukatushikisha pamoja. Why don't you repeat the same formula? Kwanza wenye wako inaonekana wenye wako sasa uongozi hawaelewi.
You're watching Hope TV Newswatch. On this point, it's time for a quick news break. But after the break, we'll be back with the business and sports news. Stick around.
I've actually been trying to find a balance. It's been really tough and hectic, but everyone says once you get a hang of it, it becomes better, and I don't know, but I'm hoping to find the balance soon because it's really been hectic. But you've been in the job industry for a long time, so I think you would know better. Sindio?
Huh? What time is it? I need to catch up on Leadership Forum. Do they have a radio here? Never mind. I brought my own.
No way. You can't be serious. Wait, why do you have a radio and you can just catch up with the shows on Hope FM podcast?
Really? Even Meet of the One?
Yeah. I mean, you can find them on whatever platform, name it. AfriPods, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it.
But I'm not subscribed on any of them.
So no worries. You can just check out the latest episodes on hopemediakenya.org.
You can now listen to select Hope FM programs on your favorite podcast streaming platform or directly on our website, www.hopemediakenya.org. Listen and live.
In order to keep hope alive in the airwaves, Hope Media has a couple of initiatives. Friends of Hope. Friends of Hope is you and I forming a team of well-wishers and volunteers who give in cash and kind to support in spreading the gospel at Hope Media. Currently, Hope Media is running a campaign under Friends of Hope dubbed 100 for 1. Through the campaign, Hope Media is asking Hope FM and Hope TV listeners and viewers to give just 100 shillings in order to reach one more soul with the message of hope and the gospel. Engage with us on our social media platforms at Hope FM Live and at Hope TV Kenya. Kuwa rafiki mso leo.
Welcome back. Now let's get down to business. President William Ruto has said that universities must step forward and be at the forefront in pushing the intra-African trade and investments agenda. Speaking today during the African Continental Free Trade Area Conference in Strathmore University, Nairobi, the head of state reiterated that designing viable models that engage stakeholders, governments and regional economic blocs to develop policies will spur inclusive and sustainable economic transformation in the continent.
Africa's youthful population is projected to increase exponentially to 1.7 billion in the next 7 years and 3 billion by 2063. I am convinced, beyond any doubt, that the youth are the future and our greatest asset. By investing in education, vocational training, and research and development, we can unlock the innovative potential of our youth, equip them with the necessary skills for the future, and keep them at the forefront of Africa's economic transformation. I am very sure that universities, starting with Strathmore, are doing exactly that. And I am saying so not from hearing. I am saying so because 2 members of my family have actually been through this university. So I am speaking from knowledge and I'm speaking from experience. And so that's what must happen continuously with all our other universities. Furthermore, it is imperative that we foster a categorically pro-business environment characterized by transparent and predictable regulations, robust legal frameworks, and protection of intellectual property rights. This will attract foreign direct investment, encourage local entrepreneurship, incubate innovation, and promote responsible business practices that create quality jobs and contribute to sustainable development.
On swiftly, and the NCBA Economic Forum has projected that Kenya's economy will grow up to 6% in 2024, supported by a rebound in agriculture sector, resilience of the services sector, and impact of government measures aimed at stimulating growth in priority sectors of the economy, including in agriculture and manufacturing sectors. Speaking during the NCBA Economic Outlook briefing, NCBA Bank Group Managing Director John Gashora said that despite the biting cost of living challenge, significant progress continues to be made, noting that the government has continued to make the necessary adjustment that will be required to restore more durable macroeconomic stability, which remains a key prerequisite for long-term growth.
There is more pain ahead for Kenyans as prices and fees for basic services continue to skyrocket. Life has become increasingly difficult for the majority of low-income earners as the government strives to boost revenue collection to meet its obligations. Life under the first year of President Ruto's administration has been tough, with a raft of steep tax increases. This has angered the people, with the opposition decrying the high cost of living.
We expect the economy to grow by 5.5% in 2023 and close to 6.0% in 2024, supported by a rebound in agriculture sector, resilience of the services sector, and impact of government measures aimed at stimulating growth in priority sectors of the economy, including in agriculture and manufacturing sectors. The main resilience of the Kenyan economy comes from the following. One, the economy is well diversified away from the traditional agriculture sector, which accounts for about 22% of annual GDP, with the service sector and MSMEs playing an increasing role, demonstrating the presence of a dynamic private sector. This has enabled the economy to weather the multiple shocks faced, particularly in recent years.
To some sports in action now, Kenya Sevens legend Billy Odhiambo has called time on his vibrant rugby career at the age of 30. The Kenya Sevens rugby player has had an illustrious career in the game spanning 11 years, participating in 68 tournaments and scoring 111 tries. Odhiambo became the fourth Kenyan to reach 100 tries in Kenya's history, as Shujaa narrowly overcame favourites England 1914 at the Los Angeles Sevens in the US 2 years ago.
Odhiambo! Too good, too big and strong. Odhiambo for the 22. Odhiambo will go over.
Pure speed from Billy Odhiambo.
Searching for space. Odhiambo, he finds it.
Billy Odhiambo back to back.
A powerful run once again. Billy Odhiambo.
Oh, that's tremendous. That is brilliant. When you're that big and that strong, hard to stop.
A fifth day of residential training today at Kasarani Annex. The team geared up their preparations ahead of their first leg match against Cameroon on Saturday. The Beldine Odemba's coached side is set to travel to Yaoundé, Cameroon on Thursday this week. Starlets play Cameroon in the third round, with the winner likely to book a ticket to Colombia-hosted 2024 World Cup. This will be a repeat of the senior team meeting in the Women's Africa Cup of Nations meeting, where Harambee Starlets defeated the highly ranked Indomitable Lionesses on post-match penalties to advance under the tutelage of Odemba.
Kaa timu tuna feel poa juu tulienda Angola tukijua watatukazia, lakini tuliipiga. Tena vile tunaenda Cameroon, tushaambiwa, tunajua ni wakubwa, lakini si tumejiamini. Kaa timu iko na morali, iko na psych, tunaenda kudeliver. Na tunaambia Kenya citizens, wakwe ready, tunawapeleka World Cup.
Mimi na feel kama tutawin cause game ya kwanza wakicheza Angola pia wale win. Hatutajali hata kama wao ni wakubwa, tunaweza na tunaenda kuwachapa.
Well, with that, we come to the end of our news tonight. Many thanks to you for watching Hope TV Newswatch. We really do appreciate the value of your time. And on behalf of the whole team that made this broadcast a success, have yourselves a blessed night. My name is Kennedy Kimani, and Boniface Murithi has been my co-presenter on the sign language interpretation.